Hello everyone, Karen Glasser here, and welcome to this special edition of The Passion Point. I am so excited because we have a very good friend of mine with us today, Maurice DiMino. He's an award-winning speaker, author, and mentor. In fact, he's one of my mentors. And his Sicilian mentor speaking and presentation template has been used by executives, entrepreneurs, celebrities, you name it. They have turned their number one fear into their number one asset. And what is that asset? That's speaking in public. Maurice would be the first to tell you that he has been doing public speaking all of his life, even when he was an infant. Isn't that right, Maurice? You were talking as a baby?
Yes, at a very young age.
But you haven't been in sales since that young. You've been in sales for over 20 years. And I know your last sales experience was a very interesting one. It was renting and selling post-production equipment in Hollywood. When I think of you, Maurice, I don't really put that together with that, so it's very interesting. But you were called the $1 Million Man. Why were you called the $1 Million Man?
Because what I did is with this product had high-end retail prices. And what I was doing is I was able to generate revenues of $1 million or more per month. So that's why I became known as a $1 Million Man. And I do believe I have to thank the template. I like to call it now my $1 Million presentation template. And I used that, and what I did is I got consistent results each time I went out there and presented my product or service.
And it's awesome, I mean, because it obviously works. I mean, you've made deals with such clients as Oprah and Dr. Phil and Big Brother, and you were already a successful public speaker, but in 2004 you joined Toastmasters, and in that very same year you became the #1 speaker in Los Angeles. That's quite a lofty height to aspire to, and you did it. You have studied with the greats in public speaking, T. Harv Eker, Les Brown, Tony Robbins, and the like. You know what you're doing, and that is why you are here today to share with us this very special program, this very special intensive that you are taking on the road. So tell us a little bit about the $1 Million Message. What is it?
Well, Karen, I believe that each and every one of us has that message written in our hearts that the world is waiting to hear. And that's when it comes to our product, our service, or even our charity. But I feel that, you made mention about public speaking. When we go out there and we deliver our message, we all know that speaking, that element of speaking in public, is the #1 fear. In fact, some people consider that more of a fear than even dying. So how do you go about presenting your best message? Right? You believe in your product, you believe in your service, but how do you go about presenting that? How do you go about presenting that business marketing message so that it is understood, so that you are profitable, passionate, and powerful? So what I did is I made mentions that I created this template back when I was selling post-production, and you could see the results that I was getting. And the idea that we want is we want to present a consistent message each and every time. And once we have that down, once we have that $1 Million message down, we're going to see a big difference in our bottom line. We're going to start seeing people generating unbelievable revenues and the life that they want to generate.
So what is unique about your system? What exactly is so special about what you're teaching people?
Now, thank you, Karen, for that question. Many other people have various systems and whatnot, but through my, as you made mention, 20 years in sales and now 10 years on the road as one of the top contract speakers here in America, I've battle-tested techniques, and I went out there and I tried these templates, tweaking it and just adjusting it so much so that what I like to say is what's unique about my message and my template is this. It's the 3 C's. I talked about having a consistent message, but when it comes to a consistent message, is it clear? Is it concise? And is there a call to action? And I believe that final element makes me unique above all the other trainers. We want to make sure that the message is clear, and that as we're presenting this message, whether it's on stage, online, or offline, we're having a clear statement. None of that is it concise. In this busy world of multiple messages getting out there, supposedly we have 5,000 media messages bombarding us on a daily message. So how do we cut through all of that noise, all of that fuzz out there? And again, the unique portion of my template is that call to action. We all want to create that transaction. So how do we go about getting that signature on the bottom line, getting the dollars, the funding, or even people just agreeing to what we're saying? So my $1,000,000 presentation template, what's unique about it is the 3 C's. It makes sure that you are clear, you're concise, and there's a call to action. You know, it makes me think of a client of mine, Adriana Rio. Here's a woman that started a philanthropy from her kitchen top table, providing backpacks to underprivileged children. Now, I know it doesn't sound like a Fortune 500 company, but in about a 2-year period, she did about 600 backpacks at $40 each. Not bad for someone working from her kitchen top table. Well, she learned the template, and in a 6-month period, she did over 1,000 backpacks. That's $40,000. And I said, oh, Adriana, how'd you do that? What stage did you speak on? She goes, Maurice, I didn't speak on any stage. I said, then where'd you do it? She said, well, I did it online. I said, oh, okay, I got it. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. She goes, no, Maurice, I did it online when I was at my coffee shop, my supermarket. Anywhere there was a gathering of people, I had that, as you made mention, a clear, concise, and a call to action. So that by the end, at the end of my little explanation, people were opening up their wallets, and I was getting donations each and every time.
Wow, that is quite the testimonial for you and for the $1 million template. So that really leads me into the next question. Who is the $1 million template for? I mean, is it for everyone, or is it just for people that want to speak on stages?
Well, you know, it's a little bit of both. Sure, people have used this to become platform speakers, but really this is opened up to the business owner, to the entrepreneur, the solopreneur, as well as even for salespeople working in real estate, financial. Because I do believe this, if you don't have a clear and concise message, the first 2 C's, who's going to understand you? If you're not making sense, how could the people walk away with your product? And I believe this, that my template gives people an experience. And we know from traditional sales that we want to have people experience our product, even when we're just presenting to them. How do we make them walk in our shoes? How do we make them use our product or service or even believe in our message? And with this template, what it does, it takes you step by step so that your audience, no matter where your audience is, yes, it could be on stage, online, or offline, or from one to many, how do you go about delivering that message so that they are experiencing that message? You're taking them on what I like to call this verbal journey, and you're leading them to this finish line, this call to action. So if you do have a product, if you have a service, it could run anywhere from, you know, a storefront to a service or even to a charity, and you have to deliver that message to one to many, online or offline. This is my question to you. Are you making it a profitable, passionate, and powerful message so that you're taking your prospects and not making clients from them, but you're taking your prospects and making them raving fans? And that's what this template is for those individuals that want to take their prospects and shoot them right up to being raving fans.
Well, I love that about you. I mean, that is truly who you are at your core, and I just love that is what your intention is, and that's where you bring them. So what are people going to learn at one of your mini intensives? Because I know you have many coming up, and we want people to be able to access these and actually show up and get to meet you and the $1 million template. So what exactly are they going to get at the mini intensives?
Well, at these mini intensives, which we're bringing throughout the United States, they are going to get the template. The first thing I want people to understand is this. It's not going to be any watered-down treatment from my intensive here in Los Angeles. I am bringing my intensive on the road, so people will walk away with their $1 million template. And Karen, I'm a big believer in the product of the product. And what I mean by that is this. Yes, at the mini intensive, my product that I'm going to share with everyone is the template. But I believe the product of the product is your presentation. In other words, the attendees, what is their presentation? You know, so many times we go to a seminar or what have you, and we take all these notes and we've had fantastic theory, but yet do we apply this theory? Come Monday, do we even use this stuff? So what I'm going to do in these mini intensive is not only show and demonstrate the template, but I'm going to have people craft their message right then and there. So at the end of these mini intensives, they will have their $1 million message ready to go. So right outside the door, right out of the gate, they could have a profitable, passionate, and powerful message.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And I'm sure that our listeners are wondering, how do they sign up for this right now? And I know that you have multiple mini intensives that are going to be going on across the country, and depending on where you are, that's probably where you're going to want to go to one of those intensives. And the best thing to do right now is right below this video, there is a link to the intensive near you. Isn't that correct, Maurice?
Yeah, that's right. We're going to be taking this message, as I said, throughout the United States. You're going to find us in such places as San Francisco, Albuquerque, Chicago, Dallas, Orlando, New York, and all the points in between. Right now what I'm doing is I am taking the $1 Million presentation template on the road with me. So definitely take a look below, find the link that corresponds to your nearest city, and come on and join us for this mini intensive and walk away with your clear, with your concise, and with your call to action message.
Well, thank you, Maurice. I'm so glad that you can join us today. I'm excited about this. I'm going to be there. I hope that you guys are going to join us as well. Maurice, any last words before we say goodbye to everyone?
I just look forward to meeting you and for you to join the family. I'm a big believer that we're in this thing called life all together. So why not create that message, get those raving fans, and not only that, generate the revenues that you so deserve. And we look forward to seeing you at our nearest city.
Absolutely. And so once again, this is Karen Glasser with Promote Your Passion, saying to all of you, we know that you have a choice as to where you spend your time. We want to thank you for spending your time with us today. Go out today and live with passion. Goodbye, everyone.